Alright YouTube, what is going on guys? David Hammond, beautiful Mother Nature, and in today's tutorial, we're speaking of 3 tips I would give to shoot in low light. Alright, so, as a bit of context, a little while back, me and my buddies, we went up to this hill. It was nighttime, so we got a campfire going, and obviously the only source of light I had, for the most part, was that campfire. And it was not a huge campfire, it wasn't blazing, it was pretty small, to be honest. Obviously video can struggle in low light, and you need some source of light, so I want to explain, what I did, and give the 3 tips to you guys, alright? So, number 1, the very first tip is going to be use any light you have. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory and obvious, but what I mean is like the non-traditional sense of light. So of course there's daylight, right? We know that. But what I mean is if the sun's gone, if you're in a street, use street lights, use neon signs, use, they can be the weirdest things. You can use an LED light, okay? So that actually brings me to the point. What I did with my camera was the campfire was not really enough, so I actually had an LED light on top of my camera with a hot shoe mount, and that was my light source, okay? So that lit everything up, whether that's your phone light, whether that's any source of light. It can be a flashlight, it literally can be anything. Just get creative with that, okay? The second tip is going to be to shoot with a fast lens, okay? Fast lens being shoot with a lens with a lower aperture. So the lens I had on for that whole B-roll clip, I believe, was the 51.8. So I had a 1.8 aperture, which meant the iris itself was wide, it was opened up, okay? By doing that, by it opening up, you're gonna allow as much light as you can, which will help, okay? So in low light, man, really I'd recommend 2.8 or lower or shallower, right? And the third tip is going to be keep your shutter speed relatively low, okay? So with photo, it's obvious when your shutter speed is low, it can let in more light. With video, it's kind of the same thing. It kind of the shutter speed kind of chops up the video in a sense where it's allowing how much light to come in. So if you have a very, very high shutter speed in that clip, it's basically, you can think of the shutter just chopping many, many times, it's just gonna let less light in. Vice versa though, if it's chopping less, the shutter is less. Let's say it's 1/30 or something like that, 1/60 as an example, it's going to allow more light in a post to something like 1/125, 1/250 as you can see. So with that, I would shoot in a lower frame rate, right? What I shoot in with really all my B-roll clips, but especially at night, is 60 frames, okay? My camera first off I can't shoot 120 even if I wanted to, but even if I could, I would stick at 60 frames, because if your frame rate's 120, your shutter's gonna be double that. It's gonna be 250, and that's too much. 250 is way too much. So if I can keep my frame rate 60 frames, then my shutter will be 1/25, because your shutter should be, pretty much double of what your frame rate is, right? So yeah guys, those are the 3 tips, real simple. Number 1 is to use any light you can, whether that's your phone light, flashlight, car headlights, campfire, get as creative as you can. 2, use a faster lens. I recommend something 2.8 or shallower, okay? And the third thing is to try to keep your shutter and your frame rates, I'm not saying keep them dead low, but keep them lower opposed to, shooting 240 frames with a shutter like 500 or something like that, you know what I mean? Yes, that's it guys. I hope those 3 tips help. That's what allowed me to survive with that B-roll clip, or any times I do shoot in low light. If you guys dig the video, please give it a thumbs up. My name is David Hammond. I do videos all on photography, videography, and the outdoors. So that's it. I want to thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one. Much love. Peace.